Thank you for being here, participating in our EASMC endorsement process, Ms. Milburn. This interview will be recorded and posted to our YouTube page. Please speak up so your answers can be heard when answering the questions. My name is Dwayne Hancock. I'm the EASMC Vice President.
My name is Tiffany Thompson. I'm a Building Service Manager at George Washington Carver Elementary.
Elaine Dean, Special Education Paraeducator at Leonardtown Middle School.
Mary Ann Tomasic, Career Advisor at Chesapeake Public Charter School, Forest Technology Center, and our virtual garden.
Katrina Mills, Building Service Manager at Spanish Middle School.
Mrs. Milburn, I have your first question. If elected, what are your top 3 priorities?
Are you asking for Board of Education or overall?
Overall.
Overall would be the balanced budget. A balanced budget, and I'm not saying that the current budget isn't already balanced, but I would like it to be more accessible to the community members to see exactly what is being funded, what's not being funded, transparency for that. Mental health is a definite one that's dear to my heart, and just health overall, and also the environment. You have a lot of new construction, a lot of, not going to say not really encroachment, but just a lot of new construction, different things in the community. And I'm just wondering if the zoning laws need to be changed in some shape or form, or at least revised, looked at to make sure that we're poised for the type of growth that the community wants.
Okay, thank you.
In your view, what challenges do you see the children in our county facing as they work to be successful in our schools?
I would say peer pressure, bullying. I think there's a lot of mental health issues. I'm not a doctor, but I understand that our kids are facing challenges that I would have never thought of when I was younger. And I'm not sure that they all have the coping mechanisms they need at home. So that would be the safety, public safety, safety in the schools, safety outside of the schools, and for just the overall community, looking at the food insecurity. That's a big thing.
Which considerations are most important when drafting and finalizing the county budget?
What the constituents need, what we really need. We need to not just look at the here and now, but we need to be strategic about what's going to happen in 5 years with the decisions that we make now. Be proactive about our decisions instead of reactive. Make sure that the community is involved. We can't funnel every single little question through the community, but you can meet with them and engage them and meet with the different groups, the different organizations that represent the community to make sure that their needs are at least being looked at. We can't meet everybody's needs, but we can consider as many as possible.
Thank you.
Sorry. As a county commissioner, how will you include the voice of the SMCPS and public school educators in your decision making?
Definitely increase the number of meetings that we engage with the St. Louis County Public Schools, the organizations, the teacher, the parent organizations. I truly believe it takes a village, so it shouldn't be us just sitting in Leonardtown making decisions for everyone else. We need to hear what you have to say, hear what your priorities are, and see how we could work together to meet those.
Thank you.
Please share an overview of your campaign, including your key endorsements, fundraising, and campaign plans, and why you believe you will be a competitive candidate.
Well, at the moment, I don't have any endorsements because really I just filed the end of February. But I do see I can build on what I did because I ran in 2022 and that was my initial run, and I've learned a little bit more about what not just what goes into the campaigning, but I've been more involved with the county since 2022. My tagline is from talk to action, and I have actually been involved in more things. The Lexington Park Garden, because of the food insecurity, I became a master gardener. I also am very involved with my church, with the housing part, housing sub-organization of the NAACP. I am a realtor, so I've just been more out there in the community to see what's really going on. My first run, I think I did well, very well for the first time out. I've got more people encouraging me to run again. But I learned lots too. I learned from the Sierra Club. I learned from even the questions that you guys had, the initial from the Board of Education. There were things that I wasn't aware of, that my eyes were opened when I had to sit down and figure out, okay, what is this questionnaire about, and what is this topic, and having to do more research. So I think I'm more prepared this time simply because of the lessons learned from my 2022 run.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. County Commissioners passed a tax increase effective in 2025 to support the blueprint. As a commissioner, will you commit to use the revenue as it was intended for to support public education?
Yes. I truly believe in doing what you say you're going to do, unless something major comes up, and then it wouldn't just be a rash decision. But I definitely believe in set aside. If something's been set aside, let's use it for that. If we're not going to, then it takes more than me just, or us just saying, oh, we're not going to use that now. We definitely need to come back to the organization that it was promised to, talk about reprioritizing and those things if we have to.
Thank you.
What specific revenue strategies would you implement to fully fund public education?
I know what I want to say initially, but that would be too vague. But definitely, again, working with the Board of Education, looking to see where the needs are, where there's excess or where maybe money's not being used adequately, maybe reprioritize, see if there are grants. There are other ways to fund, find funding for different things, but use every resource in our ability to do what we can to make sure the priorities met. Because if we don't do what we need to do for education, we're really not secure in our future.
School districts cannot be expected to solve the mental health crisis alone. How would you leverage your role as commissioner to build formal partnerships with county health departments or private providers to offer wraparound services on campus?
Pretty much do just what you said. Strategically start to have meetings, whether it be every quarter, whether it be twice a year, but whatever's needed to assess the needs, to figure out where the gaps are, where things are doing well, look to see lessons learned, what's working well, what's not working, and continue. You can't do it without partnerships.
We are one of the largest employers in the county, and our employees make up a large part of the community. How would you support us in your budget?
Maintain your salaries the best of our ability. Recruit when we can recruit. Look for alternate ways to have maybe internships, high school and college, so that you have more people to support you. Housing. Look at the. I know Maryland, as a realtor, I know Maryland has given some incentives for teachers and police force. And see if we as County Commissioner Group can set aside some money and possibly support that in some way.
Thank you.
Commissioners often have equal power, but differing viewpoints. Describe a time you had to build consensus among a group of peers with conflicting priorities. What was your strategy?
It's kind of tough. One of my, well, I don't know that I've ever had totally conflicting priorities, but I have had situations where I was the lead, and when you bring, as I said, when I worked on base, when you have to bring engineering and the budget people and the cost people together to come to arrive at a way to get and put something in the supply chain. You sit down, you listen, you take everybody's priorities, and you let everybody give their viewpoint on what's happening, and then you arrive at a consensus of how sometimes it's not gonna be a win-win for everybody, but the best possible answer that everyone can get what they need and move forward collectively and still, working together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Milburn.